It is a very fun and a very tasty week in the city of Keego Harbor, now through February 4th. And this Taste of Keego 2.0, aka Restaurant Week in Keego Harbor. Here to join us to talk about all the meals, the deals, and the fun with Keego Harbor Parks and Rec during this and other events is Kirsten Sonneville-Douglass. Kirsten, thank you for being with us today.
Good morning, Tyler. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on to join us to talk about Taste of Keego 2.0. And let's start with that nomenclature. Taste of Keego 2.0. It is a revamped version of the Taste of Keego event that has been going on in the city for a number of years. Tell us about the difference between this version of Taste of Keego and what we used to see in the past over at Santia Hall.
Yeah, so Taste of Keego, the original, was at Santia Hall. It was Parks and Rec's largest fundraiser, and it had all of the restaurants in the area. They were able to come, and it was almost like small plates where people got to have a little taste of each of them, walking around Santia Hall and being around our neighbors in our community. And it just got to be more of a challenge because restaurants didn't have the staff to provide to help with the serving, and volunteering was a challenge. And then unfortunately COVID happened. And so we had to revamp it and rethink it. And so it was driving business back to the restaurants during the pandemic. And so we just made it 2.0. And so yes, our third year doing Taste of Keego 2.0.
How did the response to the changes to Taste of Keego during the COVID-19 pandemic inform keeping the Taste of Keego event as it is right now today in this 2.0 version? Was the response from the community, was it the response from the restaurant, or both that really informed why this should stay this way going forward?
A little bit of both. That's a really good question. Just again, back to trying to be able to get enough people to help volunteer to make such a large event a success. And it takes a village, it takes a city, right? And so, but making sure that we're driving business, showing our restaurants that we appreciate all the support that they give us throughout the year. And it was just a fun way of doing it. We had a contest the first year that we kicked it off. And so we also didn't have Mother Nature's cooperation, unfortunately, with that. There's a picture of my family pulling my son in a tube down the street because we had gotten so much snow. But it's been really well received, and it's fun. And I'm excited to see what the restaurants are offering this year.
And especially given that we still have those staffing issues with these restaurants, they are still very busy, but busy in different ways. And we still want to support our local restaurants. So from the response that they've shown over the past 2 years of Taste of Keego 2.0, and as we enter the third year of this annual event with Keego Harbor Parks and Rec, just how big of an impact does a restaurant week event like this have on our local restaurants, even just getting the word out about your options?
You're exactly right with getting the word out, right? We are the smallest little community, less than a square mile, right? And we have 16 restaurants in that little area. So it's just making sure that we're promoting them, trying to get awareness, friends sharing on social media. And so hopefully driving some more business to our local area.
And not only are people supporting these restaurants during Taste of Keego 2.0 and hopefully all throughout the year, but that goes back into the community too. Like you said, it's a small community with a lot of restaurants, a lot of independently owned restaurants, and some chains too, like Jet's Pizza, also involved in this year's event and participating in Restaurant Week. How do they ultimately come back and help the community?
Specifically with Jets, they sponsor, they're our band sponsor for the block parties. Sorry, I blanked on the name. The Keego block parties this summer, we have one in June, July, and August. And so they help sponsor and offset the costs for having a live band.
And there's so many deals too, as we're joined by Kirsten Sonneville-Douglass from Keego Harbor Parks and Rec on today's edition of the Splash Live. That also goes into this. It's not just a promotion for these restaurants. They're really doing their part to encourage people to come in this week and giving them some special deals to taste a little bit of everything in the restaurants.
Yeah, we've got 3 of them have shared with me, and they keep coming in. So stay tuned. We'll continue to promote them as they come in. We know that the restaurants are busy as well, so we want to be mindful of that. But Gino's, one of our staples here in Keego Harbor, has a triple combo, which is the chicken parmesan, fettuccine alfredo and lasagna, and the special is $18.75, which I think is pretty amazing. So that's one that I'm excited to check out myself. The Harbor Steakhouse has a 16-ounce prime rib dinner for $25, and like you said, Jets has a large 3-item pizza for $15.99, I believe it is.
And these deals are going on all throughout the week, Kirsten. For those that may just be tuning in, what is that time window that people will be able to get some of these deals and explore all these different restaurants across Keego Harbor?
Yeah, it starts today, the 29th, and it goes through Sunday, February 4th.
You can find more information on participating restaurants as they continue at Keego Harbor Parks and Rec to post more information on how these restaurants are promoting themselves with these deals during this week. Follow them right now, facebook.com/KHParks for even more information. It's on your screen as we speak on civiccentertv.com. Facebook at KH Parks. Joining us is Kirsten Sonneville-Douglass from Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation. This is a great way to kick off the year. It gets people out and about in the community. We've had some unfavorable weather over the past couple weeks, but now after the recent rain, clearing the roads out a little bit, it's going to look like a great week to get out in the community and support these restaurants. And why have this at the beginning of the year? How does this serve as kind of that catalyst for all that you do in Keego Harbor Parks and Rec year round?
Great question. So it's the lull between some of the holiday seasons for the restaurants, right? They had Thanksgiving, family gatherings, Christmas, they've had New Year's, and then we're going to be bridging that until we've got like Valentine's Day, let's say, right? So this is kind of a lull time where people kind of just stay home, kind of nest. And so hopefully just trying to make more business for the community during that time. Also, it's a hard time for us to have events outside. So this way, we're just kind of keeping the momentum going and getting it started before the weather warms up.
If restaurants in Keego Harbor or nearby areas that want to participate in something like this haven't gotten contact with you, can they still join in during this week?
100%. 100%. Last year we had the same thing where people are like, oh, I missed my email. And so they responded, and it happens, and we understand that, right? And so if they see this, they see it on social media, we'd love to have them participate.
And if people want to participate not only in Taste of Keego 2.0, but help out with your team all throughout the year, how can they get involved with Keego Harbor Parks and Rec?
Oh, we need volunteers all the time. It takes a village. So they can contact City Hall. They can contact us on social media. You have the Facebook link up, and I appreciate that. You can find me. It's very easy. You'll see Leslie Clark in the parks all the time, so you can stop her. But just even come to one of our events and chat with one of the commissioners. We're always looking for volunteers. We just finished the Winter Wonderland Park. And so once the weather warms up a little bit, we'll be taking down all the lights and sorting them. We've got a couple of spring events. We've got the canal cleanup that will be happening April 6th at the Willow Beach swim site. And then the next big event will be the Memorial Day Parade.
And all these events, you can find a full calendar of them posted on the Keego Harbor Parks and Rec Facebook page. Again, it's on your screen as we speak. Facebook at KH Parks. Kirsten, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Tyler.
Plenty more events and information on Facebook at KH Parks. You can also find more information on how you can get involved with Keego Harbor Parks and Rec on their Facebook page. Stop in at Keego Harbor City Hall and ask them for some contact information for Leslie, for Kirsten, and others that are always involved in every parks event, or just ask them for more information by visiting KeegoHarbor.org.